Hello everyone, welcome back. We have another question to solve today, and the question we have here is right here on the board. Let's do justice to the question right now. We are given 8ex plus 15e raised to the power of minus x. So we are now asked to find the value of x. Let's put the value of x here. X is equal to question mark. How can we get x? The first thing we need to do is to change this, to remove this negative sign here. That is the first thing we are going to do. By doing that, we are going to have 8e raised to the power of x plus 15 all over e raised to the power of x is now equal to 26. So the next thing we are going to do now is to simplify everything. We have a fraction here. Make this to be a fraction. I can put over 1 here. So here I need to find the LCM. So finding the LCM now, we have the LCM will be e raised to the power of x. 1 here will give us 8. E to the power of x square. Then plus e raised to the power of x divided by this will give us 15. Is now equal to 26 over 1. Then we can now cross multiply from here. If we should cross multiply from here, we are going to have 8 e raised to the power of x squared. Though if you apply the law of indices here, the 2 will come to this side. So we are going to have here plus 15, and here we are going to have is equal to 26 to the power of e raised to power x. So from here, we can bring es to this side. If you should take everything, move everything to this side, now we have 8 e to the power of x squared minus 26 e to the power of x, then plus 15 is equal to 0. We have is equal to 0 here. So the next thing we are going to do now is to actually factorize. We can actually factorize directly, but at the same time we can use another letter to represent e raised to the power of x, but we can still solve it the way it is. If we should go ahead and solve it like this, solving this one now, this will multiply this, so we have plus 120 here. So what do we do? That means that we have 8 e to the power of x squared. Okay, I don't know if it is minus, but we have plus here. We look for a number, two numbers, such that when the two numbers are multiplied together, we are going to have plus 120. But if they are added together, we are going to have minus 26. If we should consider 20 times 6, that will give us 120. Of course. Oh, I think this should be the factor. That means I'm going to have from here now 20 e to the power of x. Minus minus will give us plus. So here this also will be minus 6 to the power of e raised to power x. Then here we have 15 is equal to 0. We have this. That means we're going to pair them together. If you should pair them now, that means we look for what is common to these two. 8e to the power of x is common. No, 8e to the power of x is not common. What is common to these two is 4 e raised to the power of x into 4 here will give us 2. Then we are going to have another ex here. Then minus. We have taken ex here, that means here we are going to have 5. Then what is common here? 3 can go here. That means we are going to have 2ex plus. Is it plus? No, it's minus. Then minus 3 is now equal to 0. So from here, you can see what we have in the bracket are the same. That means from there, I will have something of this nature. We have 2 e to the power of x minus 5 into 4e to the power of x minus 3 is now equal to 0. So I can now equate both brackets to 0. If we equate both brackets to 0, that means we have 2ex minus 5 is equal to 0, or we have 4ex minus 3 is equal to 0. So from here we are going to have 2ex now will now be equal to 5. That means our ex now will now be equal to 5 all over 2. And here too we have 4e to the power of x now will now be equal to 3. So our ex now will now be equal to 3 all over 4. Remember, we are asked to find the value of x, not ex. So for us to find the value of x now, we are going to take the natural log of both sides. That means we find the ln of both sides. That means here we have ln e raised to the power of x is now equal to ln 5 all over 2. And the same thing now applies to this side. Or let's finish this first. That means ln is the inverse of exponential. Ln is the inverse of exponential. So when you have ln e, it means the ln and e will cancel, and we are left with this x will now be equal to ln 5 all over 2. We can leave our answer like this, and we can still go further. Then our x now will now be equal to ln 5 minus ln 2. This should be the first answer. Why we can take the ln of this side too. That means we are going to have ln e to the power of x all over ln 3 all over 4. The ln will cancel this, so we are left with x now will now be ln 3 minus ln 4. So the two answers for this question now. Of course, if you are going to get the final answer, we can leave an answer like this, but at the same time we can still go further. We can find the ln 5, we also find ln 2, then we can now subtract this from this, and we can equally do the same thing to this side. So from here, our final answer now will now be this and this. So we have come to the end of this particular episode. I will take it up from here next time. Thank you for watching. God bless.